Hi, everybody. So there's been a lot of great back and forth in class and individually with me, but I think that there's been enough kind of shared ideas and questions that it was worth putting a little short video out here for all of you. So first off, I just want to give you a little story. I promise it won't be too long. So when I first started my doctorate, it was the first time that I had done, it was not completely online, but it did have several classes that were online. It was the first time I did a lot of online learning myself. I distinctly remember my first week or two of taking those courses, exactly at the same place all of you are. And I was just thinking, oh my goodness, this is so much. There is stuff all over the place. Am I going to miss something? How am I going to keep track of things? In addition, this is always an issue I've had as a learner, is I would look at the entire semester's worth of what needed to be done and get a little panicky. Now, I know that a lot of students operate in the same way. So, two different things that I can tell you. First off, there is a lot, you're right, there are things to get adjusted to, but you will. You will get adjusted to class, you'll understand kind of the rhythm and the flow and where things will be, and pretty quickly you'll find that you'll settle in. As well, if you need to look at the full picture of the class, that's perfectly fine. But quite honestly, it's okay to take this one step at a time. It's okay for your courses just to look at what you need to be doing for the next week or two. I say week or two because, sometimes assignments aren't things you can get done in a day or whatever. You need to spend a little bit extra time on those. But don't think of the class as this entire huge block of stuff right in front of you. No, work on it one step at a time. And before you know it, it'll be December and you'll have done successfully. So you'll settle in, I promise. You'll do well. Okay, a couple of more specific things. That was kind of a broad thing. I know a lot of you have mentioned in our discussion this week that you've been using the calendar feature, which is fantastic. I do really want to warn you, though, that you should not use that for everything. You will find that most instructors will put things that have specific due dates, like formal assignments in the calendar, but a lot of the other just kind of smaller things aren't going to go in there. For example, in my classes, I don't have, due dates on discussions. So since there isn't a due date, it's not going to show up like, oh, remember, I have to do this discussion. Or if there's a website posted in class that you need to go to, for example, you did the Canvas tutorial this week, or you are doing that Canvas tutorial. There's not a due date on that. And so again, things like that don't show up in your calendar. And you'll find this is the case in most of your courses, that is just the formal assignments are going to show up in there. So for my classes, please, please, please go to the weekly overview, the very first item in every single weekly module, and I give you a really, really nice numbered to-do list of everything that needs to happen that week. That is going to be your best bet for making sure you stay on top of things. You're welcome to add all that stuff to the calendar if you want to. Some folks, just print out or copy out that list, and then they can just mark off stuff as they do it. There are also going to be things in that to-do list that you're thinking ahead on. So, if there's an assignment that is due in a couple of weeks, I'll start to give you a reminder a few weeks early that, make sure that you're thinking about this and working on it and reaching out for questions and things like that. Again, those sorts of things wouldn't show up in a calendar, a reminder of something that needs to be worked on because it's due down the road. So in my class, the weekly overview is going to be your lifesaver. Definitely use that. So thinking about this class, EDAE 521 in particular, we're only one credit. It's an orientation class. And really the big idea here is it is not content on adult education. It is really content to help you out with the rest of your degree. So a lot of various topics we talk about, right? How to be successful in discussions is coming up. How to use the library is coming up. Time management ideas, things like that. So don't think of this class necessarily as, oh, I've got to learn all of this new content. Really think of it as just building a foundation to help you succeed in the rest of your courses. I will admit that last week, we had a little bit more to do. First off, the week was a little bit longer since I do my week starting on Wednesdays, but that week started on a Monday because that was the beginning of the semester. And also there were some things that we needed to do to just get up to speed. But I think pretty quickly you'll find that the work is, or not that you find, the work will be commensurate with one credit worth. So you'll get there. You'll be okay. Okay, so one other thing is thinking about time management. I know that has come up a lot in discussions and personal emails and things to me is, how am I going to manage being an adult, having all my adult responsibilities, my job and my family and other activities that I'm involved in, and go to school? So the best thing that I can tell you is you need to set aside time where you go to class. You need to pretend this is kind of like having at an on-campus or a face-to-face class, where you have, on those, you would have a specific time, right? You would go every Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 or whatever it may happen to be for the actual face-to-face class. You need to replicate that in your own life. This does become something that if you don't set aside the time to dedicate to go to class, you'll find that other things get in the way. That's just life. That's how it naturally works. So the beauty of it is you get to decide when that works for you, though, right? So, maybe you like to work late at night when it's quiet at your house, or get up early in the morning, or maybe you have flexibility at your job and you can work during your lunch hour, whatever it may happen to be. Please, though, do come up with the time that you, quote unquote, go to class. And then as much as you can, stick with that. Again, just like a job, once in a while things are going to come up that impede on that time, but as much as you can, really, really protect that time to go to class. So that's going to help you. I know that's kind of a quick thing, but if you want to discuss it more, I'm happy to do that. Finally, the last thing I want to say is I've been super impressed with all of you so far in the week and a half that we've been working together. This is a really focused and really serious group. I can tell by the kinds of things that you're posting, the kinds of things you're asking, the kinds of things, honestly, that you're worried about, that you're taking this degree in your coursework very, very seriously. And that's going to just only be beneficial to you. That is going to help you settle in and really be successful kind of once the chaos of the beginning of the semester just mellows out a little bit. So I've been doing this for quite a while. I've worked with a lot of graduate students and a lot of AET students, and I hope that you can trust me that really is what I'm seeing in you, and you're all going to be fantastic. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me if there's anything that you want to discuss, that you're struggling with, or that I can help you out with in any way. Your AET instructors, your AET advisor, the entire program is here to make sure you can be successful. And if you are serious about this and you're putting the time and effort into it, I can guarantee you we are going to give you absolutely just as much. And you're going to get to the end of this program and you're going to have a master's degree.